Hello to all those training to become Super Saiyans and welcome to Revolution. So on today's video what I'm going to be discussing is Frieza and Frost in the Tournament of Power. Now in Dragon Ball Super episode 96, when Universe 7 and the rest of the universes arrived in the world of Void, Frieza finally met the Universe 6 Frieza Clansman counterpart in Frost. Now we as an audience obviously knew who Frieza was, not just from Dragon Ball Super, but all the way back from Dragon Ball Z. The Namek saga to this day is one of the best sagas in the whole Dragon Ball franchise, and Frieza is obviously the most iconic villain in all of Dragon Ball's history. But Frost was introduced in Dragon Ball Super in the God of Destruction tournament, and at first we all fell for it, believing that Frost was actually the good version of Frieza. And by version, I don't mean that basically he is Frieza just in a different universe. That is not how it works. What I mean is he basically just looks like Frieza. Anyway, we all fell for his good vibes, but unfortunately that wasn't to be when we found out that he actually cheated against Super Saiyan Goku because he was basically getting his ass whooped, decimated, effectively using poison needles to incapacitate the opponent. And thus his mirage of being a good Samaritan was over. So he was kind of like Frieza after all, but what we actually learned is that to rule, Frost uses much different methods to Frieza. He is much more conniving, scheming, and basically is like the government basically, whereas Frieza is impulsive and more like a tyrannical leader, putting his pride before business. Now, when it was first released that Frieza was returning to Dragon Ball Super in the Tournament of Power, everybody was thinking, well, who would win in a fight versus Frost and Frieza? But obviously everybody knew that the Golden Frieza form was much more powerful than what we saw Frost exhibit in the God of Destruction tournament. However, Frost's final form is stronger than Frieza's final form from Namek, so Frost is by no means a weakling, he just doesn't have that golden form. But in episode 96, Frieza and Frost encountered each other and their discussion was very interesting. They actually didn't seem at odds with each other at all. In fact, they seemed to coerce with each other in the shadows productively. After coming to the conclusion that they both have a fondness for ruling with power, Frieza asks Frost if he would like to work with him, and Frost replies that he would be delighted to do so. Now this is interesting because obviously both of these participants in the Tournament of Power know the conclusion of the Tournament of Power, and that is that the universes that lose will be erased. So in regards to them both working together after the Tournament of Power, that wouldn't make sense because basically neither of them could be sure that the other one would survive, and it's possible that both of them wouldn't survive. They ultimately can't take chances, and if it comes to eliminating the other, they would have to eliminate the other because if they don't, they themselves could get erased. So it's not a far cry to say that what they were talking about was in the Tournament of Power itself. Now, since the start of the Tournament of Power, we haven't actually seen Frost and Frieza a great deal. We've seen Frost basically eliminate Krillin by lurking in the shadows and appearing when the opponent is vulnerable. We have seen Frieza slightly more, basically just torturing his opponents, but we haven't seen Frieza quite as much as you would expect to of a major character as of yet. Now, I do believe they are just saving Frieza for later in the tournament, basically because he is a major character and the big boys will come to play once the fodder has been eliminated. But is it possible that Frieza and Frost already have a scheme or a plan in action as we speak? Now, when Frieza and Frost coerced the first time just before the tournament, they did so in the shadows. They waited for the sundial to move behind the countdown cylinder, and this is when that talk took place. Well, largely in part to Kale, basically the tournament has literally been ripped up and there are plenty of places to hide now, so that probably makes it easier for Frost to use his strategy, but it gives Frieza and Frost more opportunities to speak and work together. But what exactly is it that they will be trying to achieve in this tournament? Now, it would take a Frieza turn to basically turn against his own teammates, but they do have some common enemies, and that is Goku and Vegeta. For Frost, it's hard to say Goku because ultimately in the God of Destruction tournament, Frost actually eliminated Goku, albeit cheating. And it wasn't really Goku that humiliated Frost in the end, it was actually Vegeta. But Vegeta is also a sworn enemy of Frieza. The bickering and banter they had before the Tournament of Power, they really don't like each other. And you can't blame Vegeta, really, can you? Because Frieza blew up his home planet. So it could be potentially to hurt or eliminate one of Goku or Vegeta. But in terms of Frieza's chances of surviving this tournament and being resurrected in Universe 7, Frieza will be hurting his own chances by eliminating Goku or Vegeta. In terms of Goku, I wouldn't put it past Frieza because his hatred goes far beyond probably even caring for his own life. But Frieza was incredibly impulsive when he got resurrected in the resurrection of F Saga, and because of his impulsion to get revenge on Goku, he cut short his training when achieving the gold form and literally burnt out against Super Saiyan Blue Goku and then Vegeta. So I'm inclined to say Frieza's learned his lesson and would be better served going for the longer game this time, and if he hasn't come to that conclusion himself, if he coerced with Frost at any point about this, Frost is a much more better schemer and conniver and maybe suggested it. Anyway, it's still possible that there will be a Frieza turn, but it isn't in his best interests. However, I've got a little theory or what if situation on what could potentially happen. I guess it's more of a what if situation, but because Frieza and Frost have coerced, no other competitors know that these two have coerced because, like I said, they did it in the shadows, so it was very secretive. Not even the Team Universe 7 members seem to know that Frieza coerced with Frost. And because of this very fact, nobody is going to suspect them working together. Now, when it becomes the latter stages of this tournament, when it boils down to a few members left, these two could work together accordingly to eliminate everybody in the Tournament of Power, leaving just Frieza and Frost at the end of the tournament. Now, this is a long shot, guys, I know. I'm just speculating here. But what if Frieza and Frost agree together to be the last two remaining members of this tournament? Once that dial has reached the bottom and the time has run out, if one member each from Universe 6 and 7 are remaining after the Tournament of Power, therefore, wouldn't both universes survive? Not only that, but Frieza and Frost would gain access to the Super Dragon Balls. Who knows what they would wish for? Maybe they'd wish for a joint empire. That would be pretty scary. You would have the perfect combination of brains and brawn. Toriyama loves to throw us curveballs, and what a curveball it would be if two of the most villainous characters in the whole of Dragon Ball Super won the Tournament of Power. Everybody is expecting it to be Goku, Vegeta or Gohan, and possibly even Toppo, Jiren or Hit. It definitely would be a turn for the books. Dragon Ball Super is unpredictable in terms of future avenues simply because of the fact there are so many characters in it right now. They could go in any direction. They could go with the evil angel arc that's always speculated, an evil Zeno arc, or even a Frieza empire. In fact, Frieza has mentioned that he would like to rebuild his empire just before this tournament, and it looked like he was actually scouting other members of universes out. He really liked the Universe 9 members when he commented that he enjoyed their bloodthirstiness. Now, obviously, Universe 9 has already been erased, so it would take all the universes somehow coming back after erasure for that to happen. But Frieza has found other like-minded individuals. I, for one, would love to see Frieza stay relevant after this Tournament of Power, and bringing an empire back would be a great future avenue to take in the Dragon Ball Super series, especially if he has somebody like Frost to help him take command. The big fight being promoted in this tournament is Goku and Jiren, both of whom are portrayed as heroes. Obviously, Goku is the hero of Universe 7, even though he doesn't technically aim to save the world. He basically just happens to save the world. The Pride Troopers are seen as heroes, and Jiren is the most powerful one of them all, including Toppo, who considers himself a hero, and even Hit is considered a good guy in Dragon Ball Super. He's an assassin, but he isn't evil. He doesn't have evil intentions. It's just his job. So, if a villain won this tournament when it's hero versus hero, that would be a pretty big curve. So guys, what do you think? Do you think Frieza and Frost are, whilst in the Tournament of Power, scheming their way through things? Are they still in cahoots while the tournament is being fought? Do you think that they could both survive till the end and basically save both Universe 6 and 7 together? If not, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think we could ever see an inter-universal empire headed by Frost and Frieza. If you like my videos, guys, make sure you smash that like button. Every like I get helps my videos out and helps me get seen. If you haven't subscribed yet, I've got a very diverse library full of content. I'm sure you'll find something you enjoy, even if you weren't happening to like this video. And remember one very important final message. If you stay calm in any situation, you will never, ever become a Super Saiyan. Make sure you click that subscribe button to make sure you get all my latest content straight to your account as soon as it's released. And here are some more videos from my library, which I'm sure you will all enjoy.